So a lot of you have been asking me, when's the next video coming? And by a lot, I mean a bunch of you have been asking me that 5 times a day, every day for like a month now. The problem is, my computer has finally shit itself and completely died, so finishing the video I was working on is going to take a while. No worries, all the shitty sound clips you sent me are still safe and sound, but there's been a bit of a setback. Now, so this channel doesn't remain completely dead for God knows how long, I decided maybe I'll do one of these. One of these unscripted rant videos that I haven't done in a while because nobody likes listening to them, but I love doing them, and then every time I do, I get a bunch of comments telling me to go hang myself. So, time for me to share with you another one of my little thoughts that I've had, that nobody is going to agree with, but I'd really like to run by ya to hear what you guys think, which is presumably that I should hang myself. So here's what I've been thinking. I am really sick of listening to YouTubers complain about demonetization. Like, really, really sick of it. This realization came to me a few months ago when I watched a video, not saying any names, but the actual video was about 12 minutes long, and then it ended with a 7-minute long rant by the YouTuber, and this is a big YouTuber, where he complains that he's not making enough money. Just completely unscripted, just going on and on and on about it, to the point it was nearly as long as the actual content of the video. I had this realization again a couple of months later when I found 2 YouTubers who I never watched before but sort of enjoyed and decided to slowly go through their content. And both of them, completely independently of each other, I saw a sort of similar progression go through their channels as I watched them. At first, some years back, I found some video of theirs where at some point they turned to their audience and to the people complaining that their videos aren't good enough or that they didn't like something that they've said or made in the video and telling them that this isn't their job so they don't care what anybody thinks. You know, a good attitude to have, and I'm not saying that sarcastically because seriously, everyone who watches my channel, go fuck yourself. Then, at some point, I would find a video of theirs where they mentioned that they are now making YouTube videos part-time as a sort of supplementary income, a sort of half job. And then, at a later date, more closer to today, there would be a video or multiple videos by both of these completely unrelated people where they whine and complain that YouTube demonetizes their videos. Now, at that point, I still wasn't completely sold on having this little rant to share with you. But then I found another video by another YouTuber who made a 15-minute long video detailing all the possible ways you can give them money. Just signed up to pretty much every possible payment platform where people can send them stuff. An Amazon wishlist, just begging them for cash. Not even a good YouTuber, makes horrible content that nobody wants to watch but really wants to make this their job. And just, why do you need 17 payment platforms? If they don't want to give you money, then they don't want to give you money. Just like two tops, okay? Make a Patreon if they don't ban you, and then make something else for people who don't have Patreon. I don't know. If you already have a PayPal, fine, give them your PayPal link. So 3 tops, not every possible opportunity to beg for money. But okay, let's get to the actual topic here. I am so sick of seeing this shit, okay? Because let's get something straight. YouTube does not owe you money. You are not entitled to it. Because this is what we're actually talking about. People who make videos on YouTube that YouTube clearly does not want, that YouTube obviously does not want to pay them for, and then when these videos fail to slip past the demonetization bots, they whine and complain that they're not getting paid. We all know what's going on. We all know that YouTube currently wants child-friendly content and just garbage that nobody really wants to watch. Now, do I think that this is a wise business move? No, of course not. Are there other reasons? Is there a huge, virtually conspiratorial list of reasons and players involved? Is some of this political? Probably all of this is true, but that's not the point. Clearly, YouTube does not want this content, and clearly YouTube does not owe you any money. And I know some people who aren't guilty get caught up in this, and I'm also not talking to the people who are getting Alex Jones off the internet. That's not the people I'm addressing, because that's not you. I'm talking to the people who just make shitty edgy content on this platform, like me. No bones about it. I also should be getting demonetized a lot more than I am, and I often do get demonetized, and I did make a video, a couple of videos when the Ruby thing happened, but I did that because that was funny. I thought it was pretty entertaining that Rooster Teeth would try to take my video down, although it wasn't only Rooster Teeth. The point is, I'm getting off track here a little bit. The point is, I'm sick of the whining. It's YouTube's site. They know what content they want. They don't want to pay you for content that they don't want. And the main problem with all of this is I'm just sick of all the complaining. Why are we at a point where anyone who watches YouTube videos on the regular has an intricate familiarity with how demonetization works? That should not be the case. Do TV shows complain to you about their budget? Does your plumber or electrician just kind of turn to you as he's working on whatever you paid him for and go, you know, buddy, time's been a little tough. Maybe you can give me a few more shekels here? No, they don't. You pay them what you owe them. You don't turn to your audience and ask them constantly for more money and constantly whine at them that you're not making enough. And okay, I get it, YouTubers. I sympathize, okay? Let me look at it from your side of the equation. Let's see if I can let's see if I can get all my sympathy out here. You're angry because you don't feel like getting a real job. I get it. It's fine. Listen. I get it. This is a good gig. The best YouTubers are just people who are film school dropouts who have no real talent, but at least they had a camera and some training, so they rise above the rest, and then they can make a living off of this, and it's a great gig, okay? It's an easy job. You don't have to deal with a boss, you don't have customers that yell at you, you don't have coworkers who annoy you. You wake up at whatever hour you want, you do whatever you want, there are no prior skills really required, and sometimes if you're good at it, you can make more than minimum wage, which is not an option for most of these people because they're stupid and they suck. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone, I'm no Donald Trump either, but you fuck-ups need to understand the position that you are in. This required no time investment from you, no learning. It required nothing, and still you whine. Now, if you're bothered by this, here are your options, okay? Option number 1, offer your audience more. When a business is failing, they don't hike up their prices, they don't beg for donations, they offer more to their customers, they do a better job, make more videos, offer merchandise, just stream, do something, do anything that will make you more money, instead of continuing to do what you're already doing and complaining that you're getting diminishing returns. Instead of begging for money, work harder. Or option number 2, go somewhere else. And this is why the entitlement really bothers me. The entitlement of YouTubers. They insist on staying on YouTube. Now there are other websites, but the problem with those other websites is that you'll make less money. If you are angry at YouTube, at their practices on maybe an ideological level, or you feel it's unfair, you're getting demonetized, there are other sites you can put shit on and get ad revenue. But they don't do it because those sites are smaller and they aren't willing to make the sacrifice of getting paid less to continue to make the content that they actually want to make. Because listen, I don't want to stand for YouTube, okay? I'm no giant fan of YouTube. But let's be honest here, YouTube gave you everything. They made a site for you, they made it successful, they connected you directly to ads, there was no initial capital required of you, there was no investment that you had to make, you don't even have to really put in work. Like, let's imagine that you want to make your own business, even an online business. You would have to pay actual money to start a site, you would have to invest some actual work into making a site that would run, and then you would have to sacrifice your time and effort away from a job that would make you money to put up stuff and hope that eventually it'll gain an audience that will pay back the money you've invested. There's actual risk. You could be going completely broke trying to do this on your own. But you don't have to. You have YouTube. YouTube will do all of it for you. You will continue to work at your job and do it as a hobby until it eventually something clicks. Just continue making shitty content over and over until something happens and you start making money. That's how this site works. Zero risk, zero effort. You would not be able to start a business not actually having the skills to produce the product or the service you're offering. If you wanted to make your own site and you couldn't even edit a video together, you would not get any money for that. You would lose money every month just keeping that site up. But on YouTube, you can just continue to make shit while gradually getting better, while still making money for the shit that isn't good because you're not investing money into it. And you know what else? If you make your own website, you can keep 100% of the fucking ad revenue and not worry about some website automatically demonetizing you. But this is it. This is what these people do. They insist on staying on the largest platform on the internet for this sort of content, uploading videos that they know aren't welcomed on that platform, and then getting outraged, outright indignant when they get caught by the bots and aren't paid for something they know that they shouldn't be paid for. And then they whine to their fans and ask them for more money. Their fans who have real jobs from which to gain money that they could give to these people. They sit there and try to dictate to YouTube not only what content they will be paid for on their platform, but how much they will be paid for it. Just the entitlement is unbelievable. And if none of that pleases you, here's your third option. Just sell out. Just sell out. Just make the content that YouTube wants. You don't want to get a job. You don't want to get up at 5 a.m. and lay bricks? Fine. Just make the content that YouTube wants. YouTube wants to target children? Fine. Make child-friendly content. Target kids. Make content for little kids and you will get a lot of money. Instead of getting angry at some broke fucking Indian on some shitty YouTube channel who's doing the exact same and whining that their content has no integrity. Like I see this from big YouTubers who go after just all sorts of broke-ass motherfuckers who found some way to make some money on this site, to make a lot of money on the site, but they're angry at them that their content has no integrity. I work hard for my content, I put so much effort into it, and then this guy who lives in a shitty third world country, who's just, you know, where $1 is like his month pay, found a way to make some money off of YouTube where there's no opportunities, no job opportunities for him. How dare he? How dare he not starve? How dare he not care about integrity when he lives in a country where sewers are running on the street? Seriously, everyone who does this, go fuck yourselves. Just leave them alone. Let them make their money. So they're making more money than you and they're putting in less effort. Just cut it out. Go fuck yourselves. But anyways, to get back to the point, if you want to treat YouTube as your job, then treat it as your job. At your job, you have to do what your boss tells you, and YouTube is your boss. So make the videos that YouTube wants. Just do it instead of whining. You can't simultaneously stay on a platform that doesn't want your content, make content that it doesn't want, and then demand money. It doesn't work like this. If you want to treat it as a job, then treat it as a job, and that includes doing things that you don't want to do. If you want to be an artist, accept the fact that you're going to be a starving artist. That's part of what making art is all about. That's just life, buddy. If you want to treat it as a 9 to 5, then fuck it. Get up in the morning, make your videos, make your money, and make shit that won't get demonetized instead of crying about getting demonetized. And you know what my favorite part of all of this is? YouTubers can actually do something about this. That's the worst part of it. When I think about the fact that if YouTubers really wanted it, they can maybe pressure YouTube into changing some of their practices at least a little bit. So let's talk about something else for a second. Does anyone remember the Alan Powell situation on Reddit a few years ago? I think it was around, 2014. See, what had happened was Alan Powell was one of the CEOs of Reddit. Reddit hired her and she was doing an awful job. And people were angry at her. In part, they were angry because she was a feminist. In part, they were angry because she was a feminist scam artist. And in part, they were angry because she fired one of the only good employees on the entire site who was actually working with the people running the subreddits, someone who everyone liked. Basically, what happened was that this woman who worked there, not Alan Powell, the woman that she fired, she set up some sort of Ask Me Anything with Jesse Jackson, I think it was. And because Alan Powell and her black husband, who's actually gay, and I think they're only married so he can pretend not to be gay. It's a really weird story, and he's also a scam artist. They both see Jesse Jackson as their mentor in race baiting con artistry. And when that AMA failed miserably, She got mad at this woman and fired her. In retaliation, everyone on Reddit started shutting off their subreddits, and in like 2 days, Reddit lost 90% of their traffic. YouTubers could do something similar if they're that disgruntled. I mean, they really could. But there's a substantial difference between Reddit and YouTube. And that difference is that Redditors have nothing to lose. You can shut down your subreddit, even a huge subreddit with millions of people on it, and all you lose is the ability to brag that you're a moderator on Reddit, which is really fucking pathetic. If YouTubers wanted to protest or have a strike, they would have to accept that they would be losing money throughout the entire time that they are not on YouTube. They could privatize all of their videos. If all of the big YouTubers decide to do this, they could. But they won't, because that would require actual sacrifice. Like an actual strike and an actual job, you would be losing money. And because YouTubers are YouTubers, and sacrifice isn't a word that is in their dictionary, otherwise they would have real work, that is never going to happen. There's just not an option for these people to sacrifice a single thing to make their situation better. Not that I want them to do this because it would be really sad and stupid, but they could do something. So 2 final points before I wrap this up and get a lot of really angry comments in the comment section. 2 last points I'd like to make. If I ever get to the point I'm making enough money to live off of YouTube, and then at some later point I stop making enough money to live off of YouTube, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back to having a fucking job. Like a normal person who realizes that their brief spell of luck has run out, instead of either begging people for more money or living a really sad, pathetic life, scrounging off of scraps like some people who have lost all of their internet fame and refuse to let it go. And the second point I want to make before I wrap this up is, can all of you YouTubers just please stop calling yourself creators? Can you be a little less pretentious? I am so tired of YouTubers making videos saying YouTube doesn't care about its creators. Let's put something on the table. Let's get something straight. You are not the creators of YouTube. You are not creators. You are the burger flippers of YouTube. So put on your little YouTube McDonald's uniform and get back to work, and don't ever fucking forget it.